Welcome to the Daily Shift. You heard that right. The Daily Shift. The show where we block out the noise and speak truth, train your mind, and help you become the absolute best version of yourself. Leo and Andrew are on their way. You're in the right place. And while you're here, take a breath. We're about to dive in. The show starts in 30 seconds. You ready? Take a deep breath in and breathe it out. Prepare for your shift.
Oh, hello. It is dark. Why is it dark? It's all right. We're going to do a Batman type of live show today. Hello, everybody. Today we're talking about peace over pressure and really the good type of pressure that we have every single day and how you can lean into that and allow yourself to live a more aligned life, live a more clear life, and how every single morning you can know exactly what you need to do to get done for you to feel great by the end of the day and throughout the week, the month, the year, and the decade have such a great viewpoint of your life and where you're going.
So today's going to be an exciting show, and it's going to be, I say this sometimes when I get excited about a show. It's going to be what I wish I would have known in my early 20s when I was in the daily grind, hustle, stress the heck out nonstop. And this is going to be a gift for you, a show that you want to come back and watch of how you can step into a peaceful place. And that's interesting. Lighting shifted up on us.
It's all right.
How you could step into a peaceful place, a powerful place, and not be living in reaction mode and survival mode. So very excited to share some of our insights with you today of things that we've learned over the years and things that we do to really step into that. Because my objective is you guys are hanging out with us every single day and growing together and learning together is that you step into your power at new levels. You were created for greatness. This is so interesting.
It's all right. Type in the chat. Type in the chat if you're seeing what we're seeing with the cameras. And as we keep going, we'll fix it as we go.
That's right.
You have anything else on that?
Nope. That's all I have.
So we have 5 points here that me and Andrew have built out. And type them in the chat as per usual as I figure this. I hope that camera is not destroy. So number one is sharpened versus shrinking. So times like this, of course, this isn't a whole lot of pressure, but let's just say a year ago, 2 years ago, I would have thought, no, this is terrible. I can't believe this is happening. And when things start to go wrong, I start to feel this chest feeling like, oh, it's super tight in my chest. I feel stressed out. And it's just about being very aware of, is this pressure going to sharpen you or is it going to shrink you? Because I, in this exact moment, can tell myself, hey, this is a privilege. Pressure is a privilege. We've been doing this show for about 100 plus days. And this is an opportunity in about 20 minutes as we wrap up the show for us to improve. So it's just simply the mentality in the exact moment of the pressure to say, this is going to grow me. So then my attitude is excitement towards it. My attitude is calm towards it, versus shrinking is when I'm not breathing. I'm saying, oh, I can't believe this is happening. And I start to trip out. And instead of letting it improve me, I let it take away my peace. Does that make sense?
I think that's a powerful description. And really, it doesn't matter how big or small the thing is. And if you've experienced, levels of certain levels of success in money and revenue and business and team, you realize that it's the same patterns that we fall to or that we fall into if we're not very intentional, regardless of whether it's talking about $1 million or $1,000 or $5 million. Like it's the same patterns that tend to show through. It's the same patterns, whether it's with you and one business partner or you and 25 team members. And so understanding that every level of pressure is getting in the reps to get you to a new level of what I said earlier in the show, which is to step into your power and your purpose.
So number two is when pressure becomes a pattern. So I want everyone in this short session that we have is pay attention to when you feel pressure and where it is. And I want you to type in the chat or write it down where that pressure comes from. It might be a spinning mind, when your mind starts looping around different ideas and kind of spiraling in a certain direction.
Yeah.
Or it could be a tight chest, right? Your chest starts to tighten up. It starts to stop breathing as much. You're not giving it enough oxygen to your chest. Or it could be this feeling in, for me, sometimes it's in my jaw. I'll get this tight feeling in my jaw of pressure, and I'll need to just completely relax before I can do anything, because it for me, it kind of hurts right after a while. And I just have to be very attentive of that for me to then give the type of peace to that area.
Such a powerful thing when you can, number one, be aware. Type it in the chat, awareness. That's where it begins. And I didn't understand used to that we could be aware and actually change our states, which we've been talking about. And I had a pattern. And the pattern was I would get to the office. I would get calls early in the morning. I would sleep as long as I could because I dreaded waking up. I would get calls early in the morning. I would go to the office. I would dial all day long. I would figure people were going to yell at me and cuss at me, and they did. I called people in the business. I was angry, and they were angry. And then I would stay to the office till 10 or 11 or till people quit answering the phones. And it sounds horrible when I describe it. But I didn't understand the pattern. I was like, I'm just surviving. I just got to get enough money to make the month. And I was living in that pattern, not ever taking the 10 minutes, the 30 minutes to say, I need to be aware of why this is happening. Where is it starting? And how do I plug the hole that keeps allowing this water into my life, right? If the ship's sinking, how do we identify where it's sinking and how do we fix it?
So this leads us to number 3, which is you are not built to be everything. A lie that I was told was I have to be at my best for everyone else. And that created an idea that I have to be everything for everyone at all times. And
how'd you break through that?
I broke through that by realizing that not everyone views you the same way that you view yourself. Yeah. And sometimes if you're just maybe at your worst in that moment, someone still sees you and they still see you in a very bright light.
Yeah.
You in the moment, you criticize yourself more than anyone else. Like myself, I am my biggest critic.
Yeah.
And I won't view myself the way you view me or the way Michelle views me or the way other people view me because of that mindset that I was built into for so long. So now that's been kind of, what's the word, detoxing out of my life.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to understand that you can just simply be yourself around everybody. And that's actually the most peaceful, and that's actually the greatest experience for the other person and for yourself to see.
Yeah. Well, I think it's such a interesting thing when we feel the need to put on a front, as we used to say. When we feel the need to put on that front and be so guarded and so like we're ensuring that we present a certain way to people, and then it becomes a massive pressure because it's like, what if they find out the real me, right? What if I'm not the person who they met? And so whenever I started showing up, rather than trying to front any type of way, just showing up real. Here's who I am. Here's what it is. And if you're, of course, a good person, you're kind, you're loving, you're caring, you do things morally and ethically, then it's the best way to show up anyway, is to be yourself.
Right.
And if you're not, well, that's a deeper discussion.
So number 4 is, type it in the chat, rhythm over reaction. And it's this idea that, of course, we don't want to be reactive to things. First thing in the morning, you wake up, you don't grab your phone first thing. You get into a rhythm first. Same thing as we get text. We see the text, but those who are very reactive to it are very controlled by their phone, very controlled by the world.
Yeah.
You want to be able to be in a rhythm where you might see a text, but you're currently working on a project.
Yeah.
And our job is to continue and finish the project first before you grab that phone, because it's going to take your attention away. So that's simply just having a rhythm, having a bit of boundaries for yourself. And I have something that I want you guys to do today, that I did today earlier, that completely got rid of my overwhelm and my reactive mode that I kind of woke up in this morning, because so many things were going on. And I knew I had to do a bunch of things. So what I want everyone to do, it's pretty much just Midas, but it's an extension of Midas, right? When you write down your most important daily action steps, you write down your 3 to 5 things that you got to get done. But if you're in a reactive mode, or if you're overwhelmed or stressed, simply choose one thing and focus on that one thing and get that done for just 1 hour. Find an hour in your time, or even if it's 30 minutes, and just focus on getting that one thing done. And I promise you crossing that thing out will put you back into an aligned state.
Yeah.
Will put you back into a present state where you're no longer reactive.
Something that I do, and that's really good, Leo, because something that I used to do, and I'll give you a 10-second rundown. Some of you, most of you might be able to relate. You see a text, so you grab your phone to respond to the text, and then you notice a notification on your email, so you go in there to respond to the email, and when you open the email, you see an email yesterday you forgot to respond to. Mm-hmm. And then you can go down the list, 10 or 12 or 15 levels deep, and by the time it is 60 seconds has gone by, done forgot why I grabbed my freaking phone in the first place. And so, of course, the natural thing is just go to social media and scroll. And so I share that because when we become intentional, I was on a meeting today, and immediately the gentleman said to me, he said something along the lines of a project that we'd been working on together, which reminded me of an email that was awaiting my response. Right. That I hadn't had a chance to go to. Well, the old me would have immediately went and responded to that email and begin that rabbit trail. Instead, what I did is I always have a notebook by me when I'm on meetings, and a habit that I make, I challenge all of you guys to have when you're on meetings, when you're working on a project, always have a notebook beside you with a blank page. And when something starts to distract you or your ADHD kicks in, write down that thing that you know you need to do. Now it is on the paper. You don't have to let your mind wonder if you're going to remember it or not. It's on the paper, and as soon as this meeting is over, you can put it on your to-do list, your calendar, handle it, or whatever the thing is, whatever the action step is. These little habits, this is back to awareness. When you find yourself in a constant pattern of being reactive, when you find yourself in a constant pattern of stress and overwhelm, identify where those things are happening and then put a different philosophy in place.
Absolutely. So one thing that goes to my mind is like with the camera freaking out, my reactive states wants to just like fix it right now. And what I've learned is that you write it down, you put it somewhere so that I can actually not cover this right after the meeting, right after the live, but in 30 minutes when I have free time, go back, fix the camera. Tomorrow it'll be all good. And number 5 that I want to cover before we end is something that I'm working on even today. And it is simply, I'm going to change it because it says build from peace, not proving. But I think it's just this idea that things are so much better when they're done with him, when they're done with God. I told myself for the past 2 hours, go sit with God, because I didn't fully do it this morning. I woke up and I'm like, thank you, God, for this day. And I just went into the day.
Just hung up on him in the middle of the conversation.
For the past, not even 2 hours, for the past couple of hours, I keep getting this pull to like, go sit with him. Right. But I had so much to do. Yeah. And I still like, this is part of the line items that I have to get done today. And that's, you see the way I'm speaking about it too. It's not how I usually am. And I think this is something I need to learn in the moment, where if you get a pull to sit with God, like drop whatever you're doing and sit with him. Yeah. Because I have not done it yet. And I need to go sit with him after this so I can get back into a present state. Otherwise, I'm not viewing the live in a way that I need to view it. Mm-hmm. I'm not viewing the day that I need to view it and how I usually do.
Well, it can become, if it's just knocking out line items, and this is something very deep, I think, that we can all struggle with, is some days it's like we just got to get stuff done. And when we're getting stuff done and it's just doing line items that we know need to get done, because otherwise, what if this doesn't work out, or what if this doesn't happen? And so we know the domino effect. So it becomes, for lack of a better term, a soulless experience.
Right.
It's like I'm just going through the day being a zombie, knocking out crap on my list to get the next crap behind it. And some people, of course, live that way for years or decades. So the sooner you can identify that and you can find that, wait a second, I'm in this state, let me go fix this, the sooner we can get back into the impact and the power that you were meant for. So thank you for sharing that, Leo. That's powerful.
Absolutely. And I think it's good for us that we can kind of, in a show like this, give and then go and sit with God and just let it be a reminder. So again, I thank you guys for being here, giving us this platform, allowing us to speak into your lives and giving you guys things to work on. And a lot of the times we need to work on the same things. I told Andrew the other day, I feel good because I teach things that only we now do.
Yeah.
And this last one, it's like, oh, well, when I made the show before, I talked to God that day. Yeah. Today I did not. And I feel a lot less proactive. I feel a lot less peaceful right now. And I'm pretty at peace. But in terms of, I see the thoughts in my mind that don't happen when I sit with God, when I meditate with him. So I'm going to do that after this show in about 60 seconds as we wrap up. But I hope that inspires you guys to do the same thing, that if you feel that pull, if you feel that pressure, sometimes just sitting down with him for 5 minutes and just giving him your anxieties and your fears, laying them down to him. He could do all things and he'll take care of it for you.
I love that. That's a powerful way to end. I have nothing to add to that. That's incredible. And I appreciate you sharing that, because if literally that's the only takeaway you got from this show today, it will be transformative for your entire life. So thank you for that.
Yes. He gave us a sign by messing with our lighting.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Same time, same place. We will not be in the studio. We'll be in Vegas, but we'll still be here. So you don't have to think of anything. All right. Peace out. Have a great, fantastic, amazing, productive, incredible day.
Bye for now.
Peace.